Hey guys, it's Matt here, and today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Luke 11:37. And we're actually going to go straight to the word and start reading from the New Living Translation today. And it starts off, as Jesus was speaking, one of the Pharisees invited him home for a meal. He went in and took his place at the table. His host was amazed to see that he sat down without first performing the hand-washing ceremony required by Jewish custom. Then the Lord said to him, "You Pharisees are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and wickedness. Fools! Did God make the inside as well as the outside?" Or he said, "Didn't God make the inside as well as the outside? So clean the inside by giving gifts to the poor, and you will be clean all over. What sorrow awaits you, Pharisees, for you are careful to tithe the tiniest income from your herb garden, but ignore justice and love and the love of God. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. What sorrow awaits you, Pharisees, for you love to sit in the seats of honor, in the synagogues, and receive respectful greetings as you walk in the marketplace. Yes, what sorrow awaits you, for you are like hidden graves in the field, people walking over them without knowing the corruption that they're stepping on. Teacher, said an expert in religious law, you have insulted us too in what you just said. And Jesus said, yes. What sorrow awaits also you experts in religious law, for you crush people with unbearable religious demands, and you never lift a finger to ease the burden. What sorrow awaits you, for you build monuments for the prophets your own ancestors killed long ago. But in fact, you stand as witnesses who agree with what your ancestors did. They killed the prophets, and you join in their crime by building monuments. And I'm skipping ahead to 52. It says, what sorrow awaits you, experts in religious law, for you remove the key to knowledge from the people. You don't enter the kingdom yourselves, and you prevent others from entering. As Jesus was leaving, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees became hostile and tried to provoke him with many questions. They wanted to trap him into saying something that they could use against him, meaning they wanted to find something that they could use so that they could persecute him, so that they could kill him, right? In Jewish custom, however, it's customary to ritually wash one's hand before a meal. This ritual is called Nantilot Yadaim. I can't pronounce it, and I apologize for butchering it. But from my reading, it seems like this is more of a reflection type ritual, where it has little to do with actual cleansing the hand, since like no soap is used and stuff, and more to do with reflection. In fact, people would do this even when their hands were clean, physically clean. So after washing, actually, they would say a prayer. And I have the Hebrew version of that prayer. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to read the English translation. It says, "Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us concerning the washing of hands." Right? And this is courtesy myjewishlearning.com. And the Pharisees, from my research, were also big fans of both the oral and the written law. I think they believed that some oral traditions were to be interpreted as written law. They held it on the same level as written law, right? And I would just minor segue to say here that I'm no expert in Jewish customs. This is just what I've read online and try to gather for this particular video, because the scripture caught my attention, right? It said that the Pharisees were surprised that Jesus didn't do the hand-washing ritual. And that word ritual kind of prompted me to look more into it. And this is what I found. Now, the Pharisees, they believed in the written law, or I believe it's called the Torah, which is the first 5 books of our Old Testament in Christianity. And they also believed in something that I believe it's called the Talmud, which is the oral traditions of the Jewish people that were written down. So they held that. So that was the context of what Jesus was telling them, actually. Right. So now that we have this context out of the way, there's a recurring theme between a lot of the encounters between Jesus and the Pharisees. He was trying to get them to stop paying so much attention to the outside rules and traditions and get back to the core of what serving Yahweh means. That is, not washing the outside only, but keeping the heart, your mind, your thoughts, your actions, your intentions clean before God. Jesus was trying to tell them that their priority was in the wrong place, right? There's a little fly buzzing around me. So to a lot of us, we can sometimes get caught up in the rituals and the repetitions and the traditions, and we forget what the most important thing is: justice, truth, and love of God. Jesus understood that the washing of hands ritually was an outward display, but the reflection that was supposed to be happening on the inside for those who practice it was not happening. Right? So this is what I understood from Jesus telling them this. But again, in the end, the Pharisees were so concerned with their traditions and how they looked, that the rebuke of Christ just angered them, instead of looking inward and repenting. I believe this anger to be spiked by pride in a traditional system that God doesn't really see any benefit for if the outside doesn't really reflect what's happening on the inside, right? So I implore you, look at yourselves and start replacing those traditional outward things with a repentant and humble heart towards God. Seek justice, give mercy, love others with a love that is not afraid like Jesus was. He wasn't afraid to rebuke, correct, and discipline. But we also need to be able to forgive and help when we see others going down the wrong path. So this is my message that I have for you guys today. It's the second message that actually talks a little bit about character and building our character and dealing, interestingly enough, it has a part with dealing with the Lord's rebuke, with dealing with his correction, right? Instead, the Pharisees, they could have repented. In the last message that I did on Matthew 21:33, if you're interested in that one, you can go check it out. We were talking about the parable of the vine dressers, right? That's the parable where Jesus compared he gave a parable about Israel being the caretakers of a vineyard, and God keeps sending prophets and stuff, keeps sending people to talk to them, and they keep rejecting and killing them. The last thing that he did was send his son, thinking that they would respect his son, but instead they were so full with pride and blinded by that they said, we'll kill his son and we'll take the vineyard. And Jesus compared the Pharisees to that, and they got angry, right? And I compared that to how David responded. So anyway, if you're interested, please go check out that video. I'll link it at the end of this one. I think these couple videos from the Lord is really to help us build character and really help us look for the pride within ourselves and come back to the importance of what Christianity really is, right? It's having your inside be reflected on the outside instead of your outside being a fake or some like a mirage of what the inside is. It's not there. It's not, you're looking all religious and holy on the outside, but on the inside you're in a mess. And the Lord will know if you're in a mess. And one of the things, what we learn from the Bible is that God is a fair judge. Right? Everybody has a free will to do whatever they want to do. And at the end of the day, it's really God who looks at the heart, who looks at the thoughts and the intentions of a person, and who really searches out those inward things. Until next time, guys, I'm out.